Can I tell you what worries me about most diets? It isn't that people quit them. It's that they choose a plan they can't wait to quit. Think about that for a second. If every morning you wake up thinking, I can't wait until this diet is over, what do you honestly think is going to happen when it finally ends? Of course, you're going to stop doing it. And then we call it lack of willpower. I don't. I think it's a strategy problem. If you're a woman over 40 who's wondering why you keep losing the same weight over and over again, why maintaining your weight feels harder than losing it, or why you always seem to end right back to where you started, I want you to stay with me today. Because by the end of this video, I'm going to give you one simple question that I think every woman should ask before starting any nutrition or fitness plan. It's a question that completely changed the way I coach clients. And I know it can change the way you approach your health for the rest of your life. And no, this isn't another video telling you to find your why. You've probably heard enough of that already. This is much more practical though. After more than 30 years of coaching women, I've noticed something interesting. The women who keep the weight off usually aren't the women with the most willpower. They aren't necessarily the most motivated. And they certainly aren't the women following the most restrictive diet. They're the women who built a life they didn't want to escape from. There's a huge difference. People ask me all the time, Jody, what's the best diet? You know what? That's the wrong question. The better question is this: could I still see myself doing this a year from now? Because the honest answer is no. Why are we surprised when the weight comes back? Maintenance doesn't suddenly begin the day you reach your goal weight. Maintenance begins with the very first meal you eat on day one. If the way you're losing weight isn't something you can imagine continuing in some form after the diet ends, you've already created a problem for future you. Let me give you an example from my own life. Many of you know I'm a natural bodybuilder. I travel quite a bit. I judge competitions. There are days when I'm on the road. Airports don't have great options. I'm eating on the run, or my calories are lower because I'm preparing for a show. And like everyone else, life throws a few curveballs in my life too. During those times, my fallback are tuna packets. Now, let's be honest, nobody wakes up excited about tuna packets. I don't. I don't crave them. I don't think they're the greatest culinary invention ever created either. But do you know what I love? I love what they allow me to do. They're portable, inexpensive, and packed with high quality protein. They save me when restaurants don't have what I need. They're reliable, and they don't need refrigeration. I didn't learn to love tuna packets. I learned to appreciate what they make possible. And I think that the distinction that we lost somewhere along the way was convincing ourselves that every healthy habit has to be exciting. That if we don't absolutely love it, we're doing something wrong. I don't believe that. I think one of the biggest reasons people regain weight is because they're waiting to fall in love with habits that simply require consistency. Here's what I want you to remember. You don't have to love everything your goals require. You just have to learn to like it well enough to keep showing up. That's one of the biggest mindset shifts we can make. The same thing happens with exercise. People ask me all the time, what's the best exercise? My answer has never changed. The best exercise is the one you'll actually keep doing. Now, do I believe strength training is one of the best investments women over 40 can make? Absolutely. It helps preserve muscle, supports metabolism, strengthens bones, improves function, and helps us stay independent as we age. But what if you absolutely hate lifting weights? Then let's find another solution. Swimming, resistance bands, Pilates, yoga, working in the yard, moving mulch, carrying bags of soil. Your body doesn't know whether it's within the four walls of a gym or not. It simply knows that it's working against resistance. Would I love for more women to strength train? Most definitely. But I'd rather see you consistently doing something you enjoy than occasionally forcing yourself to do something you dread. Now, let's talk about food. This is where I see people getting into trouble. Someone decides they're going to lose weight, so they completely overhaul everything. Plain chicken, plain broccoli, plain rice, every meal, every day, for 12 weeks or more. Meanwhile, they're spending those 12 weeks fantasizing about pizza, cookies, vacation, and everything they're going to eat when this is finally over. That's not a strategy. That's survival. And survival is exhausting. If you're constantly counting down the days until your diet ends, your diet is teaching you to quit. Hear that again. If you're constantly counting down the days until it's over, it's probably not a strategy worth building your future around. Instead of asking yourself, can I survive this? Ask yourself, can I repeat this? That's a much better question, because health isn't something you finish. It's something you continue. And that's where I want to introduce an idea I hope you'll remember long after this video is over. I call it the well enough principle. Before you start any new diet, before you sign up for another challenge, before you eliminate another food group, ask yourself one simple question. Can I learn to like this well enough to still be doing it 6 months from now? Not perfectly, not every day, but consistently. Because consistency, not excitement, is what changes your body. You don't need to love meal prep. You don't need to love tracking macros or lifting weights. And you definitely don't need to love tuna packets. You simply have to like those habits well enough because you love what they make possible. You love feeling stronger. You love climbing the stairs without getting winded. You love traveling more comfortably. And you love feeling confident in your own skin. Those are the things worth chasing. So here's my challenge for you this week. Pick one healthy habit you've been resisting. Just one. Then stop asking yourself whether you love it. Instead, ask, could I learn to like this well enough to keep showing up? I think your answer may surprise you. And before you go, I'd love to hear from you because I think this conversation could really help other women reading the comments. Finish the sentence for me. I've learned to like blank well enough. Maybe it's meal prep. Maybe it's walking. Maybe it's getting to bed earlier. Maybe it's lifting weights. Or maybe there's one habit you're still struggling with. Share it below. I read every comment and I genuinely enjoy having these conversations. If this video made you think differently about weight loss, healthy aging, or building habits that actually last, I'd love to have you join this community. Every Tuesday, I share practical, science-based nutrition and health strategies designed specifically for women over 40 who are tired of starting over and ready to build a body and a life they can enjoy for decades to come. Until next time, do good, have fun, be well.